Hey guys, Ali from ALTA Racks. Hope you're well. We're in a middle of February or early February and it's like super warm. It was like 60 something yesterday. It's kind of crazy. All the snow melted, so we're back on the bike racks and playing around. We've been playing with this baby, this new product that we're about to show you for about 5 months now. It took a minute to get it right and get it just right because we had so much feedback from moms and shorter stature people and people that just don't want to lift the rack. As far as, hey, is there a solution to be able to load and unload the rack from a vehicle and plug it back into the mobile floor stand so I'm not lifting the rack all the time? Well, here it is. This is the ALTA Hang Loose, basically, and it is a crane system that we created just for our racks that mounts directly to the mobile floor stand. So if you got one of these already, you can basically just mount this on it and then you can see the rack right now. We have it in the mobile floor stand. It is in a full upright position, which is angled in, and we're going to show you how you take this out of the mobile floor stand and plug it to the vehicle. We picked the largest vehicle and the biggest pain in the butt receiver because this is a recessed receiver on a Subaru, and this is the ALTA Ocho. So the biggest rack, we got the heaviest to manipulate, and then a recessed receiver that you have to kind of get down low to get it aligned. This could take longer than using your own, 2 people or 1 person to lift this rack to plug it in, but it will save your back. That's the concept. It's not about speed. It's about saving your back and not breaking your back while you're doing this, even though these are the lightest racks on the market right now. So to start is we have a motor system in here that it plugs in. It's basically a lift motor, and it comes with a remote control. That's what you're playing with. We build a plate that mounts it together. Basically the motor will mount on that plate and then attach to the legs. Everything is toolless the way we done this, or it requires tools to tighten the plates, but this can be disassembled. That's the idea, is like you don't need to keep this on, because the way we're going to build this is you're going to be able to unplug this because of the height to get it back through your garage and stuff. So the first step is the rack. We're going to provide you with a eye bolt that bolts right to the top of the rack because we have that threaded system on top. And then you have your spacing with pins. These pins are pretty critical because they set the spacing. One of the things you gotta watch, as I wanted to demonstrate this, if you get this close enough, you're gonna whack that back window, and depending on your vehicle, those are designed to break. So you don't want to necessarily do that. So these pins will help you manage that distance. The first step is to tilt the rack back towards the crane or to the hang loose itself. And this is a heavy rack, so we're gonna get it right between these arms. I'm gonna bring a pin, and I'm gonna pin it right here so it cannot move forward from this point on again. Right, so this is my safety. I just got this pin in right here. I got the pin in the back so it can only go back so much. And then I'm gonna use the motor, and you can see it's got it up and down. Basically, I'm gonna lift up, grab the rack right here, and then it's gonna just straight up unplug the rack right out of it, right? So at this point, you want to bring the rack up and pin it into the second pin to control that space now. Now you restricted the rack itself into that square space. I'm going to put the remote control, and this will have a remote control holder because you're going to want it. I'm going to come back here and then raise the hitch basically back up. So you can see like the distance has got to be pretty close. That's where you want to raise the hitch. So at this point, you want to be able to move the rack forward too as you're lowering it. So I am going to take this pin and basically put it right there on the next one. Then I am going to come over here. I have the remote in my hand, and I'm going to start lowering it, and then I'm going to bring it down as we lower it. So to get this right, it's gonna take a few tries, but there it is. I mean, I got that right in there, pretty much. And that pin stopped it from moving forward. And if I want to go forward again, I basically now move the pin to the next position and bring this pin back so it can't go back, and just basically push the rack right back in. this is how you plug the rack in. I mean, now you can align, just give it enough tension, you can align your hitch pin hole even easier now, because now you could slide that hitch inside your receiver a little easier. Now to take it out, you just kind of reverse it, right? Like, so I want to not be able to move forward, so I'm going to keep my pin here, keep my pin here. I'm going to grab the remote again. I'm going to grab the little bar right here and just lift up on it a little bit, and that right there unplugs itself. I'm going to put that right here. So I'm going to bring the pin in again and pin it right there. So I'm controlling again the environment, and I'm going to raise it up again. So at this point, I want to be able to tilt down the hitch. And you can see it's kind of right there. And this is loose like this because you want to be able to manipulate it around. Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword, but it works really well like this. So I'm going to bring this pin back one more time. Boom, do you see that? It just shifted the rack back. Nick puts it in the position where I want it potentially as I'm pushing it forward. And I'm going to bring it down. A little more. Oh, I missed the hole. And then I just slide it right in. Then I pull this pin and push the rack forward, and then it just slides in. You see, this cable is basically stopping me from any more going forward, so I could give myself plenty of slack, disconnect the cable at this point, and the rack, woo, I just hit the glass. This is one of the things you don't want to do. So watch what I did and don't do that. Hope you're having a good day. This is Ali from ALTA Racks. Trent's holding the phone. Have a great day, y'all.